Easy, easy, easy. Okay. Time out until we get everybody settled. Let me tell you what we know happened and what we don't know yet. Obviously, a twin-engine plane went down in the Hudson River, and we have reason to believe that there were 155 people, including crew, roughly, and that we think all got out safely. Now, the reason I'm saying we believe and we think is that some were taken to New Jersey and some were taken to this side of the Hudson River. Most were picked up by New York Waterways boats, and we have Alan Warner, the harbor master, here, and some were picked up by Circle Line boats, and we think some might have been picked up by Coast Guard, PD, and FDNY boats. So we are trying to verify every single person that was on that boat, make sure that they are accounted for. But there is no reason to believe at the moment that this wasn't something that we should thank God for, that everybody got out safely. And we do not believe that there are any serious injuries. A few people were taken to the hospital. They're in stable condition. A few people wanted to go to the hospital. They may or may not by this time have arrived. But it would appear that the pilot did a masterful job of landing the plane in the river and then making sure that everybody got out. I had a long conversation with the pilot. He walked the plane twice after everybody else was off and tried to verify that there was nobody else on board and assures us there were not. I also talked to a passenger who said he was the last one up the aisle and that he made sure there was nobody behind him. But the information is still subject to slight variations because there were some passengers on board where the manifest doesn't show them or does show them, and we're trying to get an accurate list from U.S. Airways. But the first and most important thing is this pilot did a wonderful job, and it would appear that all roughly 155, including crew and one infant, got out safely. The second thing that you should know is that the actual cause of the accident will be investigated by the National Transportation Safety Board. I talked to Mary Peters, the head of the U.S. Department of Transportation. The FAA is under them. The NTSB is a separate independent agency, but she informed me that they were leaving Washington National Airport with their normal team that goes to any wrecks, and they will arrive here roughly 7:30, and they will be the ones that will do an investigation, and they will make no conclusions in advance. So all of the speculation on what really happened here is just speculation, and the NTSB is going to do their normal, careful, thoughtful, and competent review of what actually happened. But the most important thing, let me come back to, and that is that all the passengers got out safely, we think. I did talk to the mayor of Charlotte, North Carolina, where the plane was going, Pat McCrory. He said we met a couple times, and I said the governor and I will buy him a drink the next time he comes to New York, but he called to say thank you very much for treating all the people who are going to Charlotte or lived in Charlotte. Every report the governor got, they were just over the top with the kind of hospitality that we showed. I pointed out this is not normally the way people arrive in New York City, but nevertheless, as long as they're all got on safely, I think everything else is secondary. There are some phone numbers if anybody watching is worried about a passenger. U.S. Air has a number, 1-800-679-8215. That's 679-8215. And you can also call 311 if you live outside of New York City. Remember, the number for 311 is 212-NEWYOK. And we will try to make sure that you get the information that you are looking for. In terms of the response, the FDNY and the NYPD and the Port Authority Police all work together. This is one of those events which, under our agreement, there's joint responsibility, both the police department and the fire department, and I think what you saw was, once again, them working together. They plan for these kinds of emergencies, they train for these kinds of emergencies, and you saw it in action because of their fast, brave work. We think that contributed to the fact that it looks like everybody is safe. The police commissioner had a couple of divers in the water. One or two of them went into the plane. They did get some people who actually went into the water. An awful lot of people stepped right onto ferries that pulled up next to the plane or right up to the wings where they were able to get out on the wings. But this unified command that we have and the Office of Emergency Management's assistance, everything did seem to work as well as you would hope that it would work. We got some assistance from the state. They were asked to send in some air resources, and Michael Balboni, who's here, said they did. Now I thought it'd be nice to hear from the governor. The governor's staff could not have been more cooperative. Anything that we asked for, we got right away. Governor Patterson?